Mm, so I don't know whether I have a PPT for you to display today. Let me just, if you just wait, I can show a PowerPoint for you. Well, I think I can show it for you. Whenever it is needed, I will be using the board, or in other cases, I will be using the presentation. Just a minute. Okay, can you all see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in our first class, what we are going to do, we are not going, as I have already told you about the nature of this class subject. Some of you might have been wondering why it is needed for to study the biblical Hebrew and what is the purpose of this. And some of you might have been thinking, I cannot even understand the Bible in my own language, whether it be Telugu or Tamil or Malayalam or English. Then what is the use of spending time to study Hebrew and or any other language? I think you might have already studied Greek. So I think when you have studied your biblical Greek, the teacher might have told you something about what is the importance of language. Okay, I don't know whether he covered it or not, but let me also give you some input. Why we need language? Why we need to study the biblical language, and what is there? Why can't just we go along with our own translation? Um, so first of all, you all know, okay, first of all, you all know Bible is written in at least 3 different languages, right? You all know it is written in 3 different languages. What are they? I don't know. Uh, can you see my video, or are you seeing my video, or are you seeing the shared screen?
Videos.
Both, sir. Both.
Both also.
Both means both. Yeah, I understand, but now the video is smaller or what?
Yes, sir. Video is small and
The main screen is in the
Oh, sir, it is
sharing, right?
optional, sir. We can make that screen or screen.
Oh, okay, that is good. But let me. Okay, now how is it?
only video, sir.
Only video. Okay. Whenever it is needed, I will be sharing. Okay. So let us begin. So we know that Bible is written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek. Okay. So how is the board writing? Is it clear? Can you able to see it, or
Clear, sir.
you want
Clear.
me? Okay. If you
Yes,
want me
sir.
to use okay, if you want me to use different marker also, please let me know. I'm using red color, but I don't know how you are seeing. I can also use blue, so that will be much better. So we know these are the primary language, and I think you might have covered a little bit about this language in your previous semester. So this course is titled as Preliminary Hebrew. Preliminary Hebrew. So it is nothing but basic Hebrew, or in another sense, an introductory Hebrew. But what we are going to do is, we can call it as Introduction to Biblical Hebrew. Okay, that is what I would like to title this subject: Introduction to Biblical Hebrew. So we know that Bible is written in at least 3 different languages, and what we have right now, whether it be the Tamil translation, I think we have Tamil students, and we have Telugu students, and we have Malayalam, and also we are using English Bible, right? Whatever the Bible we have right now are what? Translated, right? Translated. They are all translated from these languages. So now coming to the point of what do we mean when we say something like translation? Okay? When we say anything as translation, what do we mean? So first of all, let me give you one simple understanding of what do we mean by translation. One simple understanding. Translation. Okay. So if you want to, all translation is an interpretation. Okay. All translation is an interpretation. So what do I mean by that? So you know what do you mean by interpretation? Interpretation means what? We are trying to explain something. We are trying to explain something. We are trying to make somebody understand what the particular thing means. So when we say biblical interpretation, our goal is we are trying to make people understand what the Bible message is all about. We are trying to explain verse by verse. Sometimes we explain topic by topic. So by interpretation, what do we mean? We are trying to make people understand. And when we are doing that, we are actually trying to make them understand in their own terms. Okay, in their own terms. So what is that? So you go to Sunday school, okay? You go to Sunday school and you talk about Noah's story or Abraham's story or anybody else. And you go to the church, okay? That is people who are adults. And you go to some other religious people, or you go to a people group where there are different level of educated people. So when you go to Sunday school, you speak in terms of children. Is it right? So you speak in terms of children. So you can make them understand the Bible message according to their capacity or according to their terms, their language, have a different kind of language. And so we are trying to help them understand things according to their language. And when you go to the adult, when you go into the church stage, what you do? You teach, or you and I, we teach in a different language. We use different words. If you go to the Sunday school and you say salvation, redemption, propitiation, if you say something like that, they will be like, wow, what is that? But such things are very simple in the church context. So in the church setup we do. And if you go outside other religious, and if you go to the different level of educated levels, so when you speak to the biblical scholars, you use a different kind of terms. And when you speak to the people who recently came to faith, that will be different kind of terms. Why I'm bringing all this matter is, so when you are trying to interpret, you are bringing in own terms. Okay, we cannot exactly bring all the ideas. We cannot, when you are doing translation, it is highly impossible. Okay, it is highly impossible to bring all ideas from the original thing that we are trying to interpret, which is very, very same even in the biblical translation. So when the people started to translate it, when the people started to translate the Bible, they were all having difficulties. They were all having difficulties to bring up all the ideas from the original language to the current, the language they are trying to translate, or according to the original terms. So if you are taking the levels of translation, okay, I think I don't know whether I have mentioned about all these things in your classes. So if you are taking a scale, okay, a scale, and if you want to put a translation here, I'm right now I'm meaning only the English translation, literal translation, balanced and paraphrased. Okay, literal, balanced and paraphrased translation. So what do we mean by literal translation? Literal translation, it is something like word for word. Okay, from the original language, they try to translate word by word, okay, directly to other language. So for example, NASB, New American Standard Bible, and NRSV, okay, and these are trying to be literal. These translations are trying to be very literal, trying to come closer to the original language from the Hebrew and Greek. And balanced translation, NIV translation. I think most of you might be using NIV. So that is another thing. And paraphrased translation is message translation. And I think, yeah, that is more than enough. That is the best example for paraphrasing, you know, right? You understand something and you try to put it in your language. Okay, you get the idea, you get the message from the Hebrew or Greek Bible, then you try to write it in English. So this means it is like a direct interpretation. Anyhow, all the translations are kind of interpretation. This is more like a commentary. Okay, this kind of translation is more like a commentary. Balanced version is something like wherever it is needed, original verses are used, original words are translated directly, and sometimes it is corrected for the sake of making the translation smoother, because sometimes the language needs some kind of molding. And this NASB, NRSV, these kind of translations are like very much close to the biblical language structure also. So that means sometimes these words are hard to understand. The sentence structure are hard to understand. So the point I'm trying to bring through all of this, translations are not the original Bible. Okay, translations are not the original Bible. Okay, so but by saying that, please be careful. Please be careful. By saying that, I'm not telling whatever the Bible we have are less authoritative. Okay, whatever the Bible we have are not less authoritative. Not less authoritative. We still have the message in our hands. They are still authoritative. We need to use the translation so that the people will easily understand and we can easily communicate. But if you want to get closer to the original meaning, if you want to get closer to the original meaning, it is our responsibility to study the biblical languages. Okay, I think I might stop here to think for you to think about it. Okay, for you to think about it. Why? I think even in the first assignment, I have asked you some questions. Why you need to study the original language, and what is the need of that, and why you want to study the subject. I don't get many proper responses on that, many proper answers in that. But I think you will be thinking about this. Okay? Don't think this subject is going to be just another subject that is you don't use in your lifetime. I strongly believe, and I wanted you to develop this habit of using the language in the proper time. I told you during the introduction, I mean in the last class, there are sometimes we need to use original language, and there are sometimes we should not use. Okay, there are places people use Bible language um, in an improper setting. Okay, we cannot use every time. Just because you know the language, you cannot simply use it in every area. You might have heard some people using in the sermons, right, in the pulpit, saying the Hebrew word says like this, the Greek word says like this. My advice is, this was very same even for me. When I finished my seminary, when I came to the pulpit, I started to use such things. People will be wondering, wow, this person knows Hebrew, Greek. But at the end of the day, they will not get anything. They will left with they will just leave out of wondering, wow, there is something in Greek and Hebrew. So when we are trying, we have to study the language. We have to use that in our interpretation. But when we are delivering that to other people, we have to be very smart and very clever. Don't simply say this is from Hebrew and this is from Greek. That is not going to help anybody. So what is the purpose of this class? Why we are going to do? We know at least I want all of you to get working knowledge. Okay, working knowledge of biblical Hebrew. What do we mean? What do I mean by that? When you are reading some commentaries, okay, I hope when you get into the Bible seminary, you automatically start to read a lot of books, and whenever it is needed, you will be using commentaries, and that will become a habit. Whether you like it or not, it will automatically become a habit for you in your ministries. So when you are reading commentaries, there are sometimes people, the scholars, they use Hebrew words. Okay, so you should not be wondering what is that. You should be able to study that Hebrew word, what that Hebrew word, and you should be able to find that meaning in the dictionary. So that is what we are going to do in this class. We will be trying to study Bible verses in Hebrew, so that we may not understand everything. Okay, I'm telling you, you may not understand anything, but this habit of starting to read the Bible in the original language will give you more enrichment to your spiritual life. Okay, your spiritual life will be seriously enriched when you start to read your Bible in original language. Okay, that is one thing. And another one, and here I want to add another point. When you are trying to read the original language, we cannot directly say that we are reading the original language. Okay, when I say the original language, the original scripture, we all know the process how we got the Bible, right? I don't have to go back to all those introductions. We know that the Bible has been copied over the years, and it has been transmitted through generations, and we know the scribes they worked in the process of process of writing the Bible, and we know there are a lot of councils. They played an important role in the process of making the Bible that we have right now. So it is very difficult for us to directly understand what the original writer of the Bible tells about that particular verse or that particular book. But when we start to read the language, we are getting very closer. Okay, we are getting very closer. For example, see the original Bible text. When I say original Bible text, I'm just mentioning about Hebrew and Greek Bible. Okay, when I say original, I'm telling you about Hebrew, Greek Bible, and then we have translation, and then we have our understanding. So just you can imagine yourself. Okay, you can just imagine yourself. Your understanding of translation is going up to only certain limit. Okay, so when you are trying to understand the translation, you are going only up to particular limit of understanding the Bible. But when you are trying to go to the reading the Hebrew, see how closer you are getting to the meaning. Okay, now this translation actually acts as a medium for us to understand. But once you start to learn the languages, it will get closer to the meaning. Okay, but I want to tell you, just because learning the language, that doesn't mean you will be always correct in your interpretation. There are many people, they know biblical languages very well, but still their interpretation is not up to the mark, and their interpretation is not very correct. Okay, there are possibilities because of ignorance. We need to use our knowledge, but at the same time, never forget that the work of God, the work of the Holy Spirit in our life is very, very important. So whatever the languages you are learning, whatever the things you learn, we always need God's power and God's wisdom to use it correctly. Okay, some people, they even today, okay, just if you go to YouTube or internet watch, there are a lot of people, they also teach Hebrew, but that doesn't make sense. Okay, you have to be very careful. They say that they are teaching languages, but sometimes they use it for their own benefit. Okay, and we have to have this discerning spirit. We have to identify which is right and which is wrong, according to the knowledge according to the brain that God has given for all of us. Okay, that is thing. And another thing is like I want this class. I don't know whether all you might be interested, but I want all of this class to get interested in the Old Testament, primarily Old Testament. Why I am saying Old Testament? That is, this is not very new trend, but very this old, but still now it is becoming a new thing. There are some people, they say we are in the new covenant. Okay, what is that? New covenant. That means we only need New Testament. We are only enough with New Testament. We don't need Old Testament. So that is, there are many popular people doing that today. This is not very new to especially I think all of you are from South Asian culture. To be precise, I can even say you are all South Indian, all of you. So this trend is very old. It was happening earlier, Some people already said that we have to go back to the apostolic teaching. We don't need Old Testament at all. We can go along with New Testament. But we need Old Testament. We need Old Testament. And why we need, I can give you plenty of reasons, but one thing I can, from the New Testament point, even from the New Testament point of view, we can say that even Jesus was seen reading the Torah from the synagogue, and we can see that often the biblical writers in the New Testament, let's say Paul, Peter, everybody, they were quoting back the Old Testament. So in all that sense, Old Testament is very, very important. So I want you to get interested. I think we already studied the book of Pentateuch together, and I think this will be helpful. I think that what we learned will be helpful to continue even this class. And another goal is we will try to read aloud Hebrew text. We will be trying to read aloud. Okay, we will be trying to read aloud with Hebrew text. When I say that, the Hebrew is a kind of oral language. So when I try to teach anything in the class, when I ask you to speak, since we are not in a classroom setup, I expect you to speak louder. I expect you to speak louder so that whatever you are telling will make a difference in your learning. Okay, whatever you are speaking will make a difference in your learning. So if you are in a classroom setup, I would ask all of you to speak individually. Okay, but since this is online and we are with limited time, I cannot expect all of you to speak because your network connection may be poor and we will be hearing some awkward sounds. Okay, some different kind of sounds when I ask you to speak because we will say poor network connection. So I don't want that to happen here. But I may be asking you to record your voice reading and send it to me. Send it in the assignment. Send it as an assignment. So that I can evaluate how you are reading your Hebrew. Okay, that may be one of the assignments. I'm just thinking now. Okay, because I want to see how you are reading the Hebrew. So that will be one of the goals for us. And we will try to translate simple Bible verses. Okay, we will try to translate simple Bible verses from Hebrew to English and English to Tamil or your language as well. Because I think some of the examples that we are going to do here in this class, we will try to translate into English, and you all try to translate it in your original, your mother tongue as well, so that your translation will make some difference in your thinking. Okay, we will try to do that in this class. So that's all for me. That's all for now to finish this class, since we have only 5 more minutes. I just want to close it. I cannot take up any big major topic right now. So I think I have given you some introduction about the Hebrew language and why we need to study and everything. So just keep in touch. I may be calling you as often for this class. So if you are available, please join the class. If you are not unable to join, please let me know ahead. Okay, so that's not a thing. But I want you to continuously be in touch with this class. Only by that you will be able to get something out of this class. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you is, after we end this class, just give me some review about this class. Give me some of your thoughts about this. I mean, how was it? The way I am presenting, the board, the writing, and this camera view. Just tell me if you are having any difficulties, and if you are expecting anything, please let me know in the WhatsApp group. Give me just some comments so that I will think about whether to continue this way or should I be changing to any other way. Okay. So thank you for joining. May God bless you. We will continue to see in the coming classes. I think even according to the timetable, we have even one more class today. But I'm not going to take that. But I may be giving you assignments. Okay, I may be giving you assignments regularly. So don't think about a weekly assignment. Okay, weekly assignment, instead of weekly assignment, I'm going to split it into small assignments. Now and then I'm going to give you a small assignment. Okay, because it is according to what we are covering in the class. Our homework should be according to what we are covering in the class. Sometimes it may take 2 or 3 classes. Sometimes it may take even 1 week, more than 1 week to finish some certain topics. So in that case, I think it would be better to give homework according to what we are studying or what we are learning in the class. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Anything anybody want to say right now? Yeah. Anybody want to say anything right now before we finish the class?
No.
Okay. Ignesh is no.
Sir, this method is very good, sir.
So you are okay with this, right? The board and everything, right? How
Yes,
I'm
sir.
teaching. Okay,
Yes, sir.
it is fine.
We felt that we are in classroom, sir, now.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Sir,
good.
sir, I have one doubt, sir. Are you using two Zoom account right now?
Yes,
Here
one
also
is
there
to see. I'm recording the class session also. If it is possible, and I may be, if the classes are very going well, I may be using it for you or you. Maybe you can review some classes later. So that is also I'm doing. The problem is the light setting and the location, they are not very well here. I'm trying to set up a location. So let's see how better it will be in the coming classes. So thank you for your review again. I will try to make it better in the coming classes. Okay. Okay, fine.
Okay,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you all. So we will see in the next class. May God bless you.